Són els Jade Dragons contra Mambo Jambo. Pixie Bands. Hi ha un band que no entenc últimament, que està molt de moda, i aquest d'aquí, que és el nou personatge, el rei Arturo, em sembla que es diu. King Arthur? No. El Camelot, crec. I quan l'he vist jugar, doncs no té massa potencial. Llavors, a la banda de Jade Dragons, és el meu... Són els meus preferits, encara que estan rodejats de polèmica, perquè van fer fora en Sanford Soccer fa poc, però resulta que des que el van fer fora han guanyat tots, i és en plan, hòstia. I el que estan fent, el que veig molt és la discòrdia, li dona molt de potencial. Suposo que per la passiva que té, que és que el que té més danyo de l'equip, doncs té un extra de danyo. I normalment, com que en Fine OK és agressiu, doncs tindrà més pressió a la solo lane. I això pot ser una part de l'estratègia que tenen. I amb l'Scream estan havent molts... està traient pics que no se solen jugar massa, com en Tsukiyomi o la Pelé, que inclús l'Scream ha fet que la Pelé es posi una mica de moda. I en Tsukiyomi també. No és que ho hagi inventat, però... Sí, i està jugant contra aquests que són de la...
Tsukiyomi!
SCC, Smart... Bueno, no sé com es diu. Bueno, me la pela. La SMITE Minor League o alguna cosa així. O sigui, estan pro players contra no pro players.
And then we're getting like Tsukiyomi locked in for Scream. But it's been...
I tenen pics molt potents, En Kepri és top meta, Nemesis és top meta, i la de Bayaga els he vist jugar superbé. I si us hi fixeu, han banejat en tier perquè en Dead Walker va fer una jugada boníssima amb en tir que va fer que guanyessin la partida, que és contra un equip de l'SPL, contra els Scraps, em sembla. Sí, contra l'equip on està en Sanford Soccer ara. I va tirar l'ulti amb en tir i va enganxar a 4 de cop, em sembla que va ser brutal. I tothom va quedar flipant. I sabeu qui m'encanta del Jade Dragons? I és que són superagressius. No estan passius 20 minuts i després van a lluitar. Estan buscant pressió tota l'estona. I això s'agraeix, perquè si no et mors de fàstic i t'avorreixes, bàsicament. Bueno, vaig a tirar al començament perquè això me la pela ja. Volia presentar-vos una mica com està el tema.
10 seconds until that totem of Ku spawns in. Johnny recognizes, hey, we probably don't win that fight. So Johnny heads to mid, starts looking out for Pagon, trying to go for...
Vale, què tenim aquí?
Take these early skirmishes in these 2v1s because of pressure in solo. That totem Ku, as you mentioned.
A la dual lane, la pressió la tenen en pandacat per variar.
The Jade Dragons are going to make the pacing of this game. Because Hex Mambo,
l'Scream està
the only representative of the SEC remaining.
Està acostumat a fer ganks a la solo laner.
They are a late game farming team. I mean, when we were talking about
molt early game.
In a lot of the EU region at Masters 1, this was the solo laners don't leave lane until level 20. They're not even, like, they don't want to even touch the outside of, like, the jungle. Pagon will get his meditation there.
S'ha pillat meditació, I...
And Hex Mambo kind of carried that same...
I havia vist jugar amb meditació ahir mateix a un... Hòstia, no sé quin equip va ser. Però que la gent deia, estan trolejant o què? Perquè és meditació, no són bits. I clar, la meditació dona HP5 i MP5, i això, doncs, dona pressió i dona l'oportunitat de quedar-te més estona a la línia. I guanyar més, estar-te més rato, per tant, guanyar més diners i pujar més de nivell. Tenir més pressió, dona pressió, la meditació. Si no et maten, clar.
Points into each of those abilities, you really start slamming that wave with the Bluestone and the Tier 1 Morningstar start, as well as the fact that Jade Dragon's got Totem Ku control. I mean, they're able to consistently get that MP5 going, which means that Panda Cat...
Jo crec que se'ls pullaran en Panda Cap amb l'Uller, és boníssim.
It does usually translate into some lane pressure. And you see just clearing the wave going to the buff, but it's actually Hex Mambo who grabbed that purple buff on time, whereas a little bit delayed are the Jade Dragons in that regard, but more so just a farming thing and a wave clear thing as opposed to actual pressure on map, as it turns out. But Scream has been sitting around the mid lane more often than not.
I en Pegon és molt bo perquè té molta pressió i juga molt bé. No és el típic mid lane passiu, li agrada fer plays.
As you would expect from a Baba Yaga, it's one of those things where you can't Aegis in the home sweet home, so Scream should be able to get some good value out of Piercing Moonlight.
Millor que en Horrowin, seguríssim.
Okay, would love to find and execute there because you have to cancel the ult to channel that Aegis. We'll have to see how they try to abuse that as this game goes towards late.
I think keeping sights on solo, at least for these kind of mid games, is definitely the right idea. Fine, okay, and a lot of other solo laners in the SPL have been getting much more active as of recent, rotating as early as level 8, level 9 towards these mid laners to try and get some pressure there. Whereas, at least for players like Deathwalker, have been sticking a little bit more.
Està bastant igualat, M'esperava que... M'hagués esperat que hi hagués hagut una kill por ahí, però de moment no.
As well. A lot of kill pressure for the Jade Dragons duel. I mean, you have Cabrakan, double stun, Tremor, axe toss combo out of Panic Cat. I mean, you find any carry below like 70% HP at this point, that should just be a kill.
Yeah, no doubt. You got to keep your eyes on the beats, Tyrants as well. But Rotwin has the meditation, so that more so an extra health bar.
També té meditació en Kepri.
Maybe Kepri could be the gank of choice. Again, keep my eye on Scream. If Scream's going over to the left side of the map, Rotwin is going to have to make sure the positioning's on point, because E-Chrome can always just dash into a wall, zoom on out.
Sembla que els Mambo són un dels millors de la...
PPM is placing those walls.
Que no és Pro League, SMITE Pro League. I crec que són millors que els Scraps, quasi bé,
This is exactly the kind of play that Hex Mambo like, right? Where they just get to sit back, get farm here and there. Their farm's not getting contested. You're not seeing Tsukuyomi at your blue buff or your purple buff.
I vaig veure un altre equip que va entrar fa molt poquet a la SPL, que són els Valhalla Valkyries. Han pujat el seu nivell una borrada, tio. Van jugar contra els Titans i quasi se'ls follen, tio. Quasi guanyen, en sèrio. El primer joc el guanyen, després van perdre 2 seguides. Però van jugar superbé, jo vaig al·lucinar.
He's just vibing. He's just hanging out in the jungle. When she was doing the dance emote, that would have been perfect to kind of go with that statement. But PM is waiting for any one individual, and I mean a single person to walk through.
He is surrounded and he doesn't know.
No, he is in the middle of like this trifecta of like just like death. And finally he'll spot out these one target. Johnny won't find the second stun. We'll get the first. Now
podrien haver pullat, no?
What's the ultimate of E-Chrome? Now I'm wondering if that ult by E-Chrome.
It was a teleport.
Okay. Well, okay. So it was the back to lane. I was like,
yeah, it was just the old get back to lane for free card. You fly in, Panic Cat goes, you stop my back.
Volen lluitar, mireu-los.
You had to start channeling the back. You're gonna miss
minuts 5 ja.
And it looks like Panda will be sticking around just to make sure that the lane pressure is still there. But we're seeing a very small lead in favor of the Jade Dragons gold-wise, just, getting up some better last hits. I think Final K's been able to push a fair bit of the minions underneath Deathwalker's tower. Amaterasu, it takes a fair bit before she can full clear the wave with auto attacks alone with that shield. But full Golden Blade online, I imagine DW should be getting some last hits here on. And Final K actually going for that Soul Eater, so boxing in lane, trading damage in lane. Definitely going to be the name of the game for both of them.
Rotwin actually finds
PBM està cardat, ara? Hauria de tirar ulti, poder?
PBM will just be able to
encara.
leisurely stroll right through the middle
Scream està robant...
3 different people.
El pillen,
O no? Snacking. It'll be that Warlocks and Scream
hauria de tirar la ulti, no?
First fight, and it's Hex Mambo who are going to be the one pulling trigger and finding first blood. Johnny on the
s'estan juntant superbé,
Well, this time 1 for 0s at the very least, as Hex Mambo to strike out first.
You said 1 for 0s, and I thought you said 1 for 0. But either way, it's clean.
Però no m'importa, perquè en Pandacat se'ls follarà tots, bàsicament. Quan tingui full build...
This is sort of the downside of this Cabrakan starting with that blink. You put yourself to open to so much CC. You need the beads to survive the ganks. If you're blinking in, constantly initiating, of course, BM doesn't need beads. What do you mean? He's the one going in. You need to beads his skills. But when you get aggressed upon and you ult defensively to try and save your jungler, the Jade Dragons are going to start off to a
little deficit. Walker té aquest ítem que pot matar minions més ràpid. És early game. Al late game se l'haurà de canviar, segurament.
backing up. He's going back to base. But I do want to see some sort of pressure elsewhere. Panda Cat has been able to hard carry some games away on this Uller, so would not be surprised to see a little bit of pressure put towards this.
No sé per què no em van deixar Uller.
Rodwin is sort of lurking around because
És top meta, bàsicament.
Get the gank in. Rodwin will not find the root. Didn't go for the abduct initially either. For now, Panda Cat will be fine. We'll just wait till the minion wave.
A mi en Panda Cat és el millor jugador
PBM kind of lurking through the
del Jade Dragons. En Panda Cat, mira, per d'ordre són Panda Cat,
Mike and Scream, the first two to go down for the Jade Dragons, and that does give a pretty nice advantage to Rotwin as far as experience. 8 versus 6.
el Scream i en Faino que estaran igual,
Can stay
i
ahead of his opponent.
l'últim és en
At least keeping even with Jungler
PBM.
despite that first blood going over to the Hex Mambo jungler.
I mean, how many times have we looked at the Mambo matchups and seen Rotwin just vastly ahead XP-wise? And there is a little bit to say that Rotwin saps a bit more from the carries, right? If you're sitting in mid lane, that is going to put Zeros a little bit behind, and of course Pagan a little bit ahead, but with Zeros being able to farm the map effectively, you have just given yourself a pretty farmed Khepri in that sense, because at the moment, Zeros hits level 10 before Pagan, so sapping the extra farm, not really coming back to bite, unless of course it's Ekrum, because we have seen Rotwin over in duo lane as well. I'm just expecting to see these items get a little bit online beforehand, looking over at PBM, who's just 21 stacks on that Gauntlet of Thebes, and that's really all he's got to his name.
Ho porta clan de Zoni si vol fer gank en Faino que amb 2 ítems complerts.
Sovereignty or Emp Armor respectively, depending on which one you want to rush. Usually it's not Emp Armor this early, but with Hex Mambo getting the lead, I wouldn't be surprised if they felt that confident.
I'm keeping at least an eye on Totem of Coops. That seems to be what's keeping the Jade Dragons so close in goal. I mean, they were 400 gold up earlier on, then first blood comes.
Pues els estan donant més respecte del que esperava,
And now it's starting to even
Els
itself
Jade
down.
Dragons.
When you look across the way, it's fine, okay.
Pensava que
6 totems so far for his team. That's a nice extra influx
estarien rebentany.
to keep the team at least in there for now. But Final K rotating very early towards that mid lane. Thought maybe would want to get something going, see if they can find a pick, because Pyromancer has now spawned in on the map. And I'm curious as to which team is going to...
A veure d'Scream, si fa gank.
Yeah, that would be the first objective that these teams want to get active on. And Final K able to trade a ton of damage towards Deathwalker on this Achilles. Has the full Glad Shield built already, as well as fully stacked Soul Eater. Playing through your pressure lanes, definitely something that I want to see the Jade Dragons, more specifically Scream, play to, right? Because, Pagon's just 0-0, sitting in the mid lane, doing fine, nothing really to overlook at the moment, but your side lanes is where the pressure is.
I a la...
Consistently poking out Deathwalker.
Com es diu? En Pegon? A la mid lane?
Damage-wise.
Tinguent meditació li haurien d'haver fet algun gank ja, tio. En Khepri en... I la Nemesis. Si no tens bits, volen enganxar en algú?
Rotwin down to half, but that
Hem gastat l'ulti, una ulti per... Ulti per ulti.
Doing a whole lot of damage this early on. The downside of that ult on the Baba Yaga, you gotta land every single shot plus some more.
Clar, pensa que en... el Chrome té en Chernobyl i tira l'ulti i en vez de ser 4 contra 4 són 4 contra 5 en qüestió de segons, Això segur que ho han tingut en compte a l'hora de no iniciar una batalla perquè estarien en desavantatge.
Only Zeros can technically go over those walls.
Yeah, and Zeros, blast off, not a safe way to go over the walls. PBM's going to have 2 different ways to stun out that ability, and because you get mitigations when you're in the pot, it goes on cooldown whenever you stun it. So you're not going to be able to get over the wall that way. You got to make sure that you're pre-beadsing if you're trying to blast off over the walls in that regard. But this is exactly, Deathwalker loves to play this style where, you're getting bullied in lane, but you don't want to be sitting in lane too much. You're running to farm, trying to proc waves, trying to get aggressive. Stripe hit by Pagon. Big chunk of damage to Zeros. A little bit of extra sustain from the house. Zeros is going to be backed up to about 7. And Johnny is sitting around trying to see if he can get aggressive in this mid lane.
Root off the mark by Rotwin. Potion was good by Zeros to get some poke onto PBM, who has gone into that Sovereignty first, so no Emperor's Armor just yet, though it has become a little bit more popular of a pick. When we had all these TTK changes, the towers got tankier, do more damage. It was a little curious that we didn't see more Emperor's Armor at the start.
Walker, li fan gank?
Realize some of the value in that item, especially
Fan el Pyro?
wanting to play as aggressive as they are early. Hex Mambo with an early Pyro.
Estan jugant superbé, els
If
objectius.
there, has ultimate, will use it early. Won't get the kill, won't get the objective.
Estan jugant de puta mare, els Mambo Jambo.
Hex Mambo grabbed the Pyro.
Yeah, they're able to use that Amaterasu passive to shred that objective down.
Estan guanyant en oro, també.
Dragons expected.
Hòstia, mira el danyo. En Faino que ja està doblant, em sembla.
On the side of Mambo going for those objectives. Deathwalker forces the dazzling offensive early, actually trying to find out Scream. Not going to find too much aggression. And Johnny actually gets one dash stun.
Necessiten en Panda Cat.
To chase that one down, but doesn't have the damage to go for that exit.
Mira.
Pagon half HP, Rodwin
Mira, en Panda Cat rota.
will use it to get back to
I tots a tomar pel cul.
Surrounded
És que ho he dit,
and it's Pagon who puts the first one on the board for the Jade Dragons. And they can finally answer back to the aggression that Hex Mambo's been showing.
I mean, I am shocked, not at the rotation from Panda Cat, because that's actually a play that I expect from the Jade Dragons. Panda Cat looks up, sees his team a little bit down and killed.
Cherno no ha tirat ulti.
He's like, okay, it's time to get involved. Panda Cat makes the rotation in, hits a great combo onto Rotwin, but Ecrum's a level up.
Sí.
The Nightmare to try and close that gap. And
Podria haver tirat.
Pagon might have fallen there, just the meta
Cherno.
online for the Discordia, but decides to just go for the purple buff and not really chase that one down. It seems like Hex Mambo is really sitting on that mindset of farm over fights. Like, if you're not fighting over something, I'm not going to help. Ecrum's like, you got picked in the jungle, unfortunate, but I'm top net worth in the game. And once I get level 20, you'll be happy that I never left. Like, you'll be happy that I didn't use this global presence for that one time that Rotwin got caught out. I'll be shredded, don't you worry
que plia un altre cop.
Might be getting caught out again.
Toma pel cul.
A lot of damage coming and PPM's got
Mira, comença el snowball.
A bit of an awkward wall there by PBM, just some
S'escapa?
damage more than anything.
No crec.
Axos off the mark, but the slow is good and Rodwin will go down. It's PBM.
S'han portat la kill en PBM.
Now the Jade
Putada.
Dragons have at least answered back to some of that gold that came from the Pyromancer. Only about 300, 400 that was separating them for a little while there.
Estem perdent en oro, però estan bastant igualats. Estan recuperant ja
Very least experience.
la distància en oro i experiència.
Got one.
On the graph. Well, he's gotten 3 actually.
Well, I'm just more. I wanted to see the fight. You know, Final K was going for it. As you
Fan la gold?
more
Que bona.
specifically, the Jade Dragons are pulling this
I no
objective.
s'ho esperen, eh?
Ecrum gets there in time, which it doesn't.
Estan passant la gold.
Actually, might have a chance to go for the steal, but the burst is
Que bona, tio.
the Jade Dragons, and they will be able to pull that
Ara sí que estan
back in their
per
favor.
sobre.
Of a little bit of over-aggression from Rotwin.
I like the stutter step that Mike took because he didn't know which of those first abilities that Zero Stone is.
What
Like,
letters
is it going to be
coming?
the Y? Is it going to be one L or the other L? Is it going to be the O? And he just kind of stopped at the end of it. It's like, where's it going? And it was fine. So then he was able to move through. Always the hard thing of dealing with a Baba Yaga against you is the
Ara
Baba
comença...
Yaga knows what shape
El millor jugador és en Panda, que té... Mira, ja té 40% de cooldown.
one. You don't. There's no indication.
Nivell 16.
As well
Ara,
as the Babas.
m'estranya que no hagi intentat fer-se una solo kill.
Sure you whip up.
Mira, l'està buscant.
Have you ever gotten one with
Si mireu el mapa.
the same ingredient?
You know, if I did, I probably didn't.
El volia
Not
enganxar.
one of those things that I pay too much
I don't
attention
think I ever have.
I say I
Està
usually
perdent amb nivell, que raro.
I go, oh cool, it looks like a mana pot.
Perquè ha fet rotació abans.
And you accidentally pop and you're like, wait, that's not a mana
Yeah,
pot.
and if it's green, I go, oh, it looks like a health pot. But anything else, I'm just like, why is this in my inventory? Oh yeah, it does big damage, and I throw it. I know that they do different.
La putada és que d'aquests càrters és que a vegades diuen merdes i no tenen sentit. Bueno, no tenen cap valor per al joc.
A dragon's
Suposo que és per un plana, ja ho sé, però bueno.
Maybe. There's a foot in there, I swear. A rabbit's foot, mayhaps?
I don't know. I think we can actually pull that up on Zero's ability. Maybe we'll do that when we have a little bit of downtime. When you hover over the ability. We're going to learn the ingredients.
A mi m'agradava molt abans els càsters quan hi havia la Taco i, per exemple, a l'Indoman.
That's the
Okay.
attack speed one.
And then
L'Indoman,
a myriad of
el seu comentari era boníssim,
effects on
superprofessional.
There we go.
So if you guys were ever wondering how to make Baba's brew at home,
There you go. You just
You
need
gotta
an eye
find
of
a dragon.
a dragon.
I
An eye of a newt. The scale from a dragon. And you
Per
gotta
mi-
beat a wolf and take his tooth.
I mean, you could just let them
la
lose.
qualitat dels càsters han baixat moltíssim.
Right?
Potser són més divertits, però són menys professionals.
Would work.
I mean, yeah, I'm not.
Perquè moltes vegades he hagut de
Moving on.
treure el volum
You see Johnny looking for the possible gank on the
perquè parlen d'unes merdes que
Ever
dius,
the
tio,
wiser is this
això és SPL,
jumping
¿qué estás contando?
aggressive play just in case.
Què m'estàs contando?
Vision online letting know that
I a vegades m'he tret el volum i m'he posat música o alguna cosa, perquè
one. So Panda Cat was the wiser and was completely aware of that play. As we haven't seen Scream
posen a riure i a fer bromes i,
really anywhere. We see him heading over towards this duo.
i segur que és entretingut,
For that
però
purple buff once
no estàs parlant del joc ni de... Una cosa que m'he fixat és que no parlen dels ítems.
Offensively, and has just been trying to stack up this
Ni del macro game,
stacking in the jungle.
ni el micro game.
Let's get online. I expect a little bit more damage coming out from the jungle.
No tiren a la torre, vale?
Over, but
Perquè els estan rotant.
much there. A little bit of damage on the tier 1 tower is all that's to be had.
Hi ha el Pyro, Se'l podrien fer.
Pushing up the right side. Maybe that's why we
Ui.
see Hex Mambo get
PBM.
aggressive.
Ai, en
Over on
Panda
the
ha
left.
gastat bits.
Wall by PBM drops
Té uns
down,
collons més grossos en Panda que no ha tirat bits,
say, and
L'ha enganxat en Kepri i no ha tirat bits. Increïble.
Final K is going to have to be all by himself to deal with the treasure.
Estan en Cherno i la Nemesis allà.
Maybe rotate
No
the
tira
lane and
pits.
head somewhere, but Fury is down, so nothing to really fight for there.
Per això dic que és el millor jugador de l'equip.
For Hex Mambo, but seems the Deathwalker is maybe a little bit more interested in the farm.
A little bit more interested in that wave.
Ui, li ganquegen,
Well and good, but you ever seen a level
Mira, en Pegon
19 Amaterasu at 18
I en Tsuki,
minutes? 'Cause that's what
mira,
Deathwalker
a
is
veure si
currently.
l'enganxen.
And actually a rotation has been made, but very fast
No
with
crec.
Deathwalker on this Amaterasu. PBM's here,
Tira
but
ulti.
doesn't have the ultimate dazzling offensive. That's going to get you out of trouble.
Es poden fer el Pyro?
Be just fine. Johnny and Rotwin.
Mira'l.
Hiding around the
Es poden el Pyro,
And Rotwin, who was able to get at least an early lead over
Tia,
PBM, level 8 versus
els
level
Jade Dragons s'han fumat un porro abans de començar,
on their 13
Estan adormits,
But Hex Mambo grabbed themselves a Pyromancer. That's their second
Estan
kill
adormits.
of the game.
El Mambo Jambo els estan guanyant
As far as
els estan fent una competició molt bona. Mireu el gold
But even still,
recuperat,
this gold has not gotten any higher than 1,000 at any point in this game, Trelly.
Yeah,
Estan guanyant en oro i en
that's
experiència,
working in Hex Mambo's favor. Deathwalker and Echrome have not joined the fight. Like, they have not made their presence known, and they're also level 19, by the way. That does also mean that PandaCat has only made his presence known like twice, 2 assists to his name, but more notably that rotation to mid lane to pick Rotwin. That was the first kill the Jade Dragons were able to get on board. But once we see this level 20 Chernobog,
No s'ha pillat a Aegis, Pegon? S'ha pillat Meditación i a Aegis.
damage coming out from Hex Mambo, as well as the fact that, you know, this Amaterasu is not going to be easy to deal with. A ton of tank stats as well as just survivability. Has the beads online as well, so keep your eyes peeled for how much damage will be coming out, as Echrome does take over to level 20 before 20 minutes.
Impressive bar, at least met by the Hex Mambo Hunter.
Estan jugant molt bé.
Good starter item on his next attempt.
Tenen com els objectius molt... Estan jugant molt en equip.
We'll see Hex Mambo start grouping up for this objective play. They have this global hunter. They can start forcing a fight on one end.
El Scream a tomar pel cul.
Doing now up against Scream. Greater Scorpion stolen. Piercing
Scream
Moonlight
going in.
thrown in. But only against Rotwin. Will slow him down. Echrome joins the fight.
I l'Icron va a la dreta.
Fine okay out of the team fight.
Hòstia, ha sortit
The rest of Hex Mambo
en...
around.
I was thinking Echrome wanted to go to
I
Scream,
Kepri ha pillat,
the wrong target, or thought Final K could have been picked. But man, it looks like PandaCat did make the rotation over as well. So a true 5v5 over by the Fire Giant that might translate into some more pressure.
La gold, es poden a fer la gold, Mireu-los.
That is spawned in. PandaCat leaps over the wall and will start this pull. The Jade Dragon.
Se la van passant. Mira'ls.
Pass this one back and forth.
I es volen anar a fer el Pyre de mentre, no?
Objective, another one opens up, and Hex Mambo are going to pull the FG.
El fan? No crec, no?
Dragons will know this instantly. PandaCat has left the Fury. They get the Oni Fury.
No poden.
But
We
that's it.
see them on the way through, but Fire Giant stopped immediately.
Hòstia, s'han fet la gold super ràpid,
Dragons have now shown up.
Entre en Pegon i en
A
Panda.
little bit of fear into Hex Mambo.
Miren, aquí crec que hauria d'haver tirat l'ulti en PBM.
Possibly even a tier 1 tower to boot.
Tiren la torre.
A nice little swing.
Hi ha una estratègia que fan els Jade Dragons, és que tiren les primeres torres
Out of the game.
sempre que poden.
Barely over a
Sempre ho
1,000
fan.
gold for any part of the lead. But now this is one of the first times where Jade Dragons have actually claimed the lead for themselves.
Si us hi fixeu, ara han tirat la primera, ara intentaran, si van a la duo lane o a la solo lane, tiraran
Trying to bait out a fight because PandaCat
les torres, la primera torre només.
after, you know, changing that Oni Fury back and forth. Could have just popped the meditation if the brawl started, but Hex Mambo seemed fine with just letting that Oni Fury go by the wayside. We see Echrome already in left lane dealing with the wave.
Hi ha un ítem que s'ha ficat de moda, que és
And right side Oni
aquest que dona cooldown, que porta en Pigon,
power as we speak. Not too many should be able to be dealt with by Johnny and Deathwalker.
que em sembla que quan tires la ulti,
The Oni minions have been dealt with.
la teva segona habilitat no té cooldown o alguna cosa així.
Have swinging in their favor, and it's not by much, as you highlighted. In fact, the gold, it's been within 100. Like,
I ara, bàsicament, en Final K és
be
immortal.
that big of a deal.
Amb en Neme, en Lion,
The real difference is
la defensa màgica...
Echrome has been on point with upgrading that star item.
Ha d'anar molt deep, perquè-
Just did.
perquè el matin, eh?
Level 20 and got the
Se'n van a Fire?
So
No.
we're seeing these power spikes
Però
come.
es preparen, eh?
And the big difference is you got to level up in the jungle for Johnny, and Zeros is actually a level down. So when we see everyone tick through,
Panda ja estem a nivell 20, eh?
I want to see Scream I mean, do something at this point. Just got caught out one time.
Sí, l'Scream no està cardant res, en veritat.
But then decided to retreat.
No ha fet ni un play.
Very
Tot el que ha fet ha sigut plays defensius.
Mambo style of game. Just fight over some objectives. Don't throw anything. Play for late game where you're the
Això,
most
el que està fent ara és fer...
Passive style of play compared to
calentar la patata, però...
at least out of the Jade Dragons.
Dos tanques picances
Oh, yeah.
no té
Jade
sentit.
Dragons, I mean, the last 10 games that they've played, being the last 10 games they've also won, have always just been these early scream, go in for kill, you're gonna get it, you're probably gonna die.
Mira, empat de cat.
Hey, we still got the kill, that's all that really matters this early on.
Empat de cat, a veure si...
And we're
Tio,
approaching
vale.
a very rare...
És el cameraman,
go back
tio.
to the shines of, like,
Dius, tio, que si hi ha una batalla allà, cap allà,
the alley of a
a la dual lane i estàs a la solo lane i no estan fent res.
But Jade Dragons
Dead Walker,
will pull the fire.
mitja vida.
It's a good poke on a Deathwalker as well.
Sí, bueno, però ara es cura, Amb la build que té, ja veureu, ara es cura full.
Fire Giant specifically.
Pràcticament.
Looking for a fight. They want someone
Bueno, full no, però...
far out. You see Panicat has been leading the charge, trying to find an axe, trying to find a little bit of poke. PBM probably's got his finger on the blinky, waiting, trying to catch someone out. Zero's speed should be coming up in about 10 seconds, and that could be the go button for Mambo.
A veure, en Death Walker l'enganxen, s'ha flipat.
On to Rotwin.
Death ulti.
Towards Deathwalker. But again, he'll be able to heal a lot of that up thanks to that first ability, that Mail of Renewal, giving him some extra HP 5 as well. PBM goes in, gets the dash away from Echrome, finds the wall right away, and nowhere for Echrome to go. Can he get to the sky? There's a shell to hold him out.
Per què no tirar el taula ulti?
Finally, but execute from
Els enganxen a tots.
will find their target.
Què he tomar pel cul? Per què no ha tirat la ulti en l'Echrome?
Is under fire by
Em pego una toma pel cul.
There, a stun by Panicat. Will save
bueno.
the life of the mid laner. And Echrome just trying to deal with Fine OK. The Jade Dragons have found their one.
El Final que s'ha pirat, no sé per què.
Beautiful stun onto Zeros, gets the beads down, and now the
Zeros,
Chiefs
toma
will
pel cul.
ensue. I don't think Baba Yaga is going to be sitting much
Són al Fire,
longer, and Baba Yaga will go down. It's up to the Jade Dragons to pull this Fire Giant.
Però sabeu què? Han trigat més del que m'esperava. Ojo, espera't que...
Both here, half HP, ultimate.
Que encara la poden... Mira, 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 es lia,
Deathwalker
Ja veureu, es lia.
zooms his way into perspective, and Panicat is forced to
El
jump.
PBM està molt baix de vida.
And Scream can deal with
De Chrome?
Stun is good. One more hit should do it, but Johnny finds PBM in the back. And it takes
De Chrome tenia molt de daño,
to kill Echrome. Look at the HP bars on everybody but Pagon at this point. They are under half or even worse than that. Pagon wants that kill, but he cannot get...
Estan jugant amb el menjar, Els dragons.
Hex Mambo have been able to stop the Fire Giant pull, but I gotta tell you, someone needs to deal with A, Final K, and B, Pandacat. So much damage.
Sí, en Fino que està...
It certainly looks more like Final K, but those axes, and we saw how much
Sí.
hail of arrows was able to
És immortal, pràcticament. Quan s'acabi l'Spirit Rope, segurament es farà.
Deathwalker doesn't have access to Dazzling Offensive just yet. And it looks like Final K will be forced to teleport in just in case the mid laner was under any more fire.
A la SPL la Materasso no es juga massa, la veritat.
But you're probably pretty happy with
Es juguen altres
still
pics.
being not crazy in favor.
I la Baba Yaga tampoc es juga massa a la SPL.
Not committed to. I really thought Echrome was toast right from the walls, but has so much sustain with that Death's Embrace, was able to live extremely long and then just get out of fight. Was like, okay.
Mira, no volen fer el fire, volen pillar algú.
The chase down didn't
I en Pego no està baix de vida,
Dragons are in a position to try and go for the pull once again. Phantom Shell's not up for another 8 seconds. Rotwin is going to be able to stall this.
Estan buscant, estan buscant.
Could have been a perfect
Té Blink,
target.
ara tindrà Blink, d'aquí 5 segons es tirarà
Understanding, hey,
en Cabroken,
Gel is down. I probably don't want to walk
ara té Blink.
forward.
Ara es tirarà, ja veureu,
Back up around me at the time. Johnny by himself.
Mira, mira com
Down
els
the
busquen.
bubble. Will be fine for now. Wall does catch Rotwin.
En Kepri,
There's the Phantom
joder.
Shell. Ultimate out of
No li
zero,
facis.
and Deathwalker in the backline who finds
Vale.
two with the ultimate.
Ojo,
Pagon
ojo, ojo.
has been blown up. Johnny finds the kill there, and PBM even.
En el Scream a tomar... Ah, no, en Pegon.
Echrome is here, firing away. Auto after
Pues han
auto.
jugat millor, Els Jumbo Jumbo,
Are chunking through these carries.
Jumbo Mama.
Now they have the chance to pop the sustain here. The Jade Dragons are around. They don't want to give this Fire Giant up. And actually, Panicat is looking to fight. Hex Mambo, after getting the pick
Sí,
up,
en Pandacat està en plan...
are just going to back up, try and sustain.
No vull
Maybe go for
tornar a base, vull lluitar.
With Deathwalker's build, should be able to tank this Fire Giant up, no problem. It's really just the damage
Mira,
output
busquen en
of the
Pandacat.
Jade Dragons. That's the problem. We see that they're not ready to go for this one just yet.
No
Trying to
poden
wait.
tirar el fire, ara.
Panicat is trying to
El
avoid.
que sí que haurien de jugar defensius els Dragons.
Seeing Echrome sitting fairly healthy. They'll start the Fire Giant up for Hex Mambo. But there are 4 members of the Dragons here. Pagon still down. for 5 seconds.
Mira, Antezoni a la dreta.
Phantom Shell is gone for Rotwell.
O sigui, enqueja,
Meditation is gone. And PBM has found his first target.
Hòstia, en Death Walker.
Has lost a lot
Uau.
of HP just from the
L'han rebentat, Hòstia, en Fine OK.
Pulled back in, forced the beads and dash away. Phantom
La build d'atac
over
speed
the wall.
de
The Dragon
l'Ecrome
back away.
està OP. Aquestes builds,
Tough for Pagon. He can resuscitate the team if they
per fer 1
need.
contra 1 és una
Might
xusta,
just so,
però
because
quan estem tots
Fire Giant
junts,
back on the
uf,
menu for Hex Mambo.
és com tallar mantequilla amb un ganivet, és en plan, uf,
And Pagon, somebody get in there to stop.
quasi el roba.
They will not. Hex Mambo.
Han fet el fire, tio, i flipo.
Què
està passant, tio?
Next is Johnny and Deathwalker chase him down.
Yeah, the Aegis gets popped, but Pagon is definitely gone.
Estan perdent els dragons? What the fuck?
To group up and push down this right side. They have all
Estan jugant pitjor,
in the
no?
world to at least
I sabeu que estic veient? Que en l'Escape no ha fet ni un play.
try and steal away some farms.
Ni un play he vist que
Try to
fes.
confirm some buffs as well, but right when Hex Mambo sniffed that out, that right side.
No sé si ha tingut un accident i
This could have just been some
té problemes de vista o no sé.
No one is going to be around.
tiren al Fènix,
to
poder?
open this Phoenix. It's just Panda Cat
El
Scream.
problema d'aquest Fènix és que no és una xusta. És molt fàcil de defensar després.
Are we going to break this 5v3? I think they're feeling confident.
Deathwalker walks in, full HP on the Ama. There is a Trebuchet, but that's not going to do anything.
Deathwalker
For now, Phantom Shell popped, execute used by Fine. Okay, he gets grabbed and then immediately released by Rotwin. Hex Mambo do not have the minions to fight into this Phoenix, so for
no
now,
el tiren,
they'll have to take their prize of the towers and back themselves away. Still 3 left on the map, so plenty for Hex Mambo to grab.
Aquí l'Scream s'hauria de tirar o alguna cosa. Pensava que s'hauria d'haver tirat.
Grabbing the tier 2 and right.
No sé quina estratègia tenen. És que no entenc. Esperar que l'Scream arribi a full 8, poder?
Build a couple of items, right? You've got that gold in pocket now.
No sé.
Will the Jade Dragons be able to grab Primal Fury before
Fan la
the
gol?
Dragon or before the Hex the Mambo get here? Looks like yes. So the Jade Dragons will put a little bit of extra gold in their pockets while we're seeing the upgrades: Compassion Build, Executioner, Spirit Robe, even Brawler's Beatstick. A lot of power spikes.
S'ha fet el fight, però tenen la pressió. Sembla que tinguin la pressió els Dragons, en veritat. I de pasta estan perdent, però per 2.000 la pasta és no res, en aquest moment.
They play it right. Should be looking a lot in their favor. 4-0 on Johnny.
Sabeu que crec que la build d'en Chernobog és millor que la build d'en Pandacat perquè en Pandacat no pot fer-li focus a un de sol. Que com que van amb manada,
The backline of the Jade Dragons. Hit a tank.
potser li fa mig combo un i mig combo l'altre i això no, amb això no pot
And you
res.
see screams like half health. It's like I didn't even auto
I
stream.
en canvi, en Cherno apreta el botó esquerre del clic i se'ls folla tots, bàsicament. Amb aquesta build és boníssim. A veure el danyo, m'agradaria veure el danyo.
Might be looking for a little bit extra as he comes
20.000, pràcticament. Hòstia, i en Faino, 30.000.
Half left on Fire Giant. Hex
I això jo crec que és per la passiva de
side of the map.
d'aquesta, de la
Mambo have put
la
themselves
mid
in a
laner.
great position to start out this set right. It was a win against the Solar Scarabs.
Tiren el
Put
Fènix?
them in position to
Si
be
el tiren,
number
estaran en
2.
problemes,
And they are getting this
Haurien de fer all-in, jo crec,
putting themselves to
per defensar el
day 2
Fènix.
of week number 2. If they can find a win in game 1 against
Si
the
es faran el Fènix de l'esquerra,
would be a perfect
després
start to the
es
set.
faran el pròxim fight
The underdogs of the entire
i,
event. But the Jade
i
Dragons
després tiraran el mid lane i després el de la dreta i
still got
game.
more there. Deathwalker walks in, eats some pokes. Some meditation is available and an ult from Zeros. Zeros will go
I
up.
PBM s'hauria de tirar, què fot allà darrere?
At the frontliners. It's not going to do a lot to find okay. PBM finds a wall. Zeros down to a quarter
tira.
HP and Scream.
Es tira la Scream.
The
Vale.
backline will find the pick. Rotwin trying to
Rotwin.
have one in, but that was the end of his own
Vale.
supplies as he heals.
Han defensat molt bé.
Only to be brought down by the jungler.
Molt bé.
Dream grabs two, and now a chase will go on. I don't think the Jade Dragons can find anything else off that one.
Però crec que tampoc ho han fet massa en pla. Hòstia, els hi fan una trampa?
Either. It looks like Deathwalker and Echrome waiting to see if people
Volen enganxar algú o què?
And actually, if they don't, might be going for that Phoenix. I was going to say, this would be a risky play. They would be able to grab it, but what do you...
No, en el Fènix de l'esquerra no.
Dragons are pushing up mid to go for that tier 2 tower. You're sitting with that...
Hem de defensar la mid lane, no?
5 seconds, two massive members of the...
Si no defensen, els hi tiren al Fènix.
Yeah, the first tier 2 in mid is going down.
Què aniran a fer? Aniran a tirar torres o què faran aquests?
Looks like that will be the call. I didn't think a Phoenix...
Podrien anar a fer el Pyro, no?
This early on into a Fire Giant...
Pyro han deixat tota la
But since Fire Giant buff...
jungla de la dreta.
It's time for the Jade Dragons to grab this Pyro, get some extra vision around this objective, and start thinking...
Acabar les builds.
The base wasn't broken. That's a strong defense there from the Dragons.
I mean, what hit Zero so hard during
M'estranya que no acabin de netejar tot allò.
the last like 20%?
Perquè ja surt el... No, crec que no ho han fet perquè és prioritari estar allà quan apareixi el Fire.
The next
Ja,
moment,
d'aquí 10 segons.
is using his ages because he's about to die. I mean, what poke even slammed him?
Yeah, it's
I com no arribin ja, se'l fan,
to try and just back up the Jade Dragons and be like, hey, they'll see my ultimate and they'll leave. And that wasn't the case at all.
Vale, aquesta batalla d'aquí serà
Cat hits massive damage with this Uller and Final K.
la que
Was able to frontline. I mean,
dirà el
Walker
resultat.
did go to the back. Dazzling offensive never left cooldown, right? You need
Bàsicament,
some sort of
si en Panda que t'enganxa algú,
Deathwalker to make
es
a
mor.
call like that. He's got no blink. He has beads and teleport. So difficult for Deathwalker to get to the back line. It looks like Hex
Mira
Mambo
com busquen.
try a 2-3 split or something.
Tenen molta set,
to break the base. If the Jade Dragons have a say in it, they're not going to get the chance.
Es volen tirar, si els veus, es volen tirar.
Fire Giant.
EFG is
No
usually
els importa el Fire és una excusa.
objective. We saw earlier today it took 1 plus a little bit of extra for the Tartarus Titans to find their win. Same for the Valhalla.
En Panda que té full build, cuidao.
Hex Mambo.
I en Chrome també. Cherno també.
2k gold is
S'ha
essentially
vaquejat en...
just about everybody's hit level 20 besides supports.
Saps què podria fer en...
Missing is
Bueno, és arriscat.
item for them.
Anar a l'esquerra amb en Chernobyl i pressionar. Però podria ser una trampa.
No relics available for Zero, so I imagine that's what Hex Mambo was
A veure, enganxen algú?
Deathwalker does get stunned out, but not too much
Hòstia,
follow-up.
la Baba Yaga ha rebentat a...
Poked down by a couple potions from
a
Zero.
tres, bàsicament.
It's Hex Mambo in the driver's seat just for a bit, trying to get aggressive, trying to push out the Jade Dragons. Final K wants to go back, but has
Fai no aspira, però té...
an issue. Only if Hex Mambo make a pull will that teleport really...
Jo hagués fet servir el teleport només si... Hòstia, mira.
Here comes PBM.
Vale, tira...
PBM gets an ult.
Shell.
It's immediately shelled away.
En Deathwalker.
Deathwalker's ult is now down.
Enganxen.
His beads are still up, but he'll use them.
Tira la ult i l'Scream.
The piercing moonlight from
Maten algú?
doesn't find a
I què
kill,
prill?
but gets plucked in by Rotwin instead. It's
Faino quin està molt baix de vida,
the rest of his team.
Té Chrome a la merda?
Take it down by Panda.
Faino què?
Final K
Toma pel
though
cul.
will fall down to Zeros and Johnny, who have been left alone into the Dragon's backline.
And it looks like Panda Cat
Panda que ara se'l follen, per darrere.
is able to lock down Rotwin, but
No.
Deathwalker teleport back into this fight.
Ojo, els Wombo Jombo estan jugant de puta mare. I no es poden fer el Fire,
A little bit worse for wear, and Deathwalker actually kind of on the chase here, trying
Estic
to make
al·lucinant,
sure the Jade Dragons aren't able to channel their backs too quickly. Some
Mira'ls, mira'ls.
fires would mean a possible fire.
Fa bastant de dany, l'Scream.
And it looks like Deathwalker, Johnny, and Zeros are sticking around just to make sure the Jade Dragons do actually.
Pensava que perdria potencial la Mateasu, però tampoc és tan dolenta,
These teams. It looked like the Jade Dragons would have been able to go for that enhanced Fire Giant off that pick onto E-Chrome alone, but Johnny was able to answer that kill back. Tons of damage coming out from Zeros.
Vale, estem a full builds, ja, quasi bé.
Expected.
Menys els...
12 more seconds before
Tots tenen full build, menys els suports, que els hi falta un ítem només.
Trump can just fly in. That's not going to be a problem.
35 minuts, eh? Jo pensava que en 25 ja estarien... Ja seria GG.
Down over this objective.
It's actually not going to be the cooldown reset med from Pagon. Feels that he needs a bit of extra CC, so Cloak of the Avatar picked up.
És realment útil a les bits d'en Pegon? Estan tirant el Fire?
The Fire Giant's been pulled again.
Volen enganxar algú,
He on the objective. Hex Mambo mid laner will
Fan el
dive
fight?
away.
En Deathwalker a tomar pel
Is
cul.
caught in the middle of all of them.
Boníssima.
The cat will pick up the first kill of the fight.
I ara poden fer el mateix, pressionar el Fire i fer que s'acostin i tirar-se.
If need be, because
Ja veurà.
they're down a frontliner from
Té
Mambo.
Blink?
Pagon and PBA.
Té Blink
Whereas Hex Mambo have all
Broken?
4 available, trying to fend off the advance of the Jade Dragons. They
No,
don't
fine, okay,
care too
tira.
much about that objective. They want to look for a fight. They don't want to go for a 50-50 situation when they have no eyes on Johnny. Jade Dragons will go back. Final K is going to
Sí, haurien de fer això, pressionar el...
sitting on standby with the blink.
Mira,
He's
tira.
going in.
Does find 3 in the tremors. Johnny lost his
Tira.
bubble and
Maten algú?
has lost most of his health. A dive
Tia,
in.
no l'ha enganxat en Fine, ok, amb
But
l'ulti?
he gets dropped right back next to Rodwin, which is not.
Maten en la Baba Yaga?
The hope
Sí.
will not save you from Panda
Ojo, però mireu-los la vida.
Dragons 37 minutes in.
No poden fer el Fire,
Dragons
tampoc.
reset once again with
I l'Ecrome, si es treu la polla i tira l'ulti...
the HP bars of some of the frontliners not looking as good.
Yeah, Deathwalker spawns in 5 seconds and does have the teleport to try and chase down if need be. E-Chrome can always ult for vision and chase.
Crec que l'Uller perd, eh? Crec que en aquest sentit...
We'll have to reset one more time Final K is teleported back in.
De la manera que estan jugant,
He's gonna have to book it on foot.
l'Uder
Once
perd,
again, we're gonna
jo
see
crec.
Final K pull this
Estic
objective
segur.
and see where.
És penal Pyro que no té Vano. Sí, si han de vaquejar.
The defense. You
Pues
got
Vano
30
no.
seconds of that zero, so the Jade Dragons biding their
Que
time.
quasi el roba, no d'un
First,
3.
they want this enhanced Fire Giant. 38 minutes into the game, they want this.
38 minuts, Té la marinera. En Deathwalker va per darrere.
Ult up for Mike. If Rotwin steps too
No
far
poden fer-se
forward,
fire, han de
maybe
lluitar.
from Hex Mambo. Could be an easy wall.
En panda que t'estira. Plan...
Cat jumped over. Well, now
Amb
it's
l'ADC...
back to Fire
Oh.
Giant. PBM used it.
Ah, vale,
to block.
ha fet barrera.
Team
Que
can
bona.
grab the Fire Giant. Stun onto E-Chrome. This is close.
S'han fet el fire, en sèrio, tio.
Play with one shot from E-Chrome, and the rest of the team, Hex Mambo, have snapped
Tio,
the enhanced
sèrio?
Fire Giant, and now they can back up and reset
L'ha
this.
robat?
E-Chrome walks in, pre-beats, and just goes for the AoE auto attack. And
Un
is
auto.
able to steal one away. That is disgusting. What a beautiful
Això és el motiu per al qual
sure.
sempre decepcionen en Gen Dragons.
And then they just say,
Jo sempre els he mirat
auto-attack this, right?
i sempre han guanyat totes les partides menys les importants.
The pre-beats,
Quan juguen partides...
spades, the Jade Dragons didn't feel confident trying to chase that one down.
Quan juguen partides que no importen massa, les del principi de temporada, guanyen tot, es treuen la tita, l'ego se'ls hi puja, tal, se'ls infla el pit. Però després, quan van a fer partides importants, les classificatòries i tal, llavors se'ls follen. I això ha passat sempre, des de que els miro, i és el meu preferit, perquè són els més divertits per mi de mirar. Bàsicament, perquè són els que sembla que vulguin fer més plays. A veure... Això que han fet, tio... Jo no ho hagués fet. O sí, no sé. És que a veure... Oh! És que és molt arriscat això que han fet, tio.
You got Johnny
Perquè volen acabar el joc ja, però...
Lane 2 in the 3-2 split. Scream is going to play mediator, go between both of these sides, waiting for someone to step up. Phantom Shell's available, and Rotwin should be able to tank this one up just fine. Already, that left side bird's getting a little bit weak, but...
A veure si poden defensar.
They're a little nervous. They're up against the Jade Dragons, and they're in a winning situation.
This is no easy feat for any team to take down Jade Dragons. They have been on a hot streak ever since Scream joined this squad.
A veure, van a la mid lane.
Mambo, the SCC representative, be the first team to find a win on the Jade Dragons in 3 now weeks of play. Starting in second week of
Tenen una
Masters.
defensa molt bona, però...
In week 8 of the SPL.
No sé com ho faran, haurien d'anar all-in poder, no?
Hex Mambo are one good team fight away from
Utilitzar l'ulti d'en Kepri.
Deathwalker realizes, hey, I can just solo this Phoenix because it's enhanced Fire Giant. Tries to take Final K all the way up to the right side of the map. Definitely a smart call. Now you're in a 3-1-1 situation. You got to win your 1v1s. Who's winning between Johnny and Scream? Probably should be that Nemesis with enhanced Fire Giant. Rotwin gets walled in, and Zero sends up trouble.
E-Chrome
E-Chrome.
is gone. The revive is good, and that saves
No
the
poden tirar el Phoenix, I a la dreta què passa?
You can hold on to him for the next fight. But that fight's not going to be much
Tira el
longer, Shelly.
Ignoren Finoki i tira el Phoenix,
It's less than that. For the Fire Giant power play,
Estan jugant de puta mare, tio, els Mambo Jumbo.
of a Phoenix, a quarter
Contra
of one. Now it's time
Chrome.
for the regrouping by Hex Mambo.
Tira X? En plan, what the
Down by
fuck?
E-Chrome off a missed jump by
No sé per què ho ha fet.
But there's the first bird finally.
Tiren el d'esto de la
Mambo group to the right.
dreta, no
Now it's
importa.
time for the Jade Dragons to get aggressive on this left
Si
side.
tiren el de l'esquerra sí que s'acaba tot,
Once again, E-Chrome tanking it up. The Phoenix doesn't go down. It actually 1 HP Scream.
Vale,
Should be able to
boníssima.
kill.
Screen gets it. Rotwin on
Enchen a
his
dos.
last legs. Doesn't have the revive for himself.
Boníssim. Oh, tiren el del mig, però.
Down, but two more. The same two.
Poden matar-los, almenys?
Have taken away the middle one. It lives barely.
Left bird might go
Minion wave
down.
Pushing into the left.
El de l'esquerra
Now,
sembla... En sèrio, tio?
battle, but
No,
it
it's
seems that
gone.
the Phoenix will not win this time around.
Vale.
Jade Dragons 3.
Vale, els Jade Dragons estan fent exactament el que passa sempre. Hòstia, van all-in, no? Van all-in, poder? O què? Hòstia, els volen fer...
Becoming
volen fer backdoor,
And it looks like Hex Mambo are trying to go for the end call here. If they don't end here, Jade Dragons can win.
The ultimate base race. The Dragons don't
Volen anar all-in.
to take that one on even or on uneven ground, so they'll send two.
Enganxen en algun, en Deathwalker, poder?
I'll find okay. While the other two are pushing up the Phoenix. Hex Mambo was
No m'ho puc creure que guanyin aquí.
to taking down the Dragons. They were so close to holding this one out, but Panicat and Scream
Final
with
K
Final K
TP'd.
in tow have to go through. But now it's Johnny on the defense here in a 3v1 of his own. Deathwalker
Què està passant?
made his way back in, but the Jade Dragons, they hold out. Sure, they lose their Phoenixes.
No, el Titan.
They're not gonna get the
Body
Phoenix
blocks!
out. There's no way. A respawn
He's
by
dead!
Ecro.
Oh, de vida, tio.
Can the minions do it? No, they cannot. Hex
Ecro
Mambo
flies
hold
in.
out.
And now
Oh.
chasing down the 1v1 versus Pagon. Pagon has to stay alive here. And it looks like Ikram will lose that
Que
trade.
buena, en Pegon.
Puts him in the dirt. It's Pagon
Que buena. Però ha de defensar el Titan,
and Pagon up against the world. I was gonna say is
No m'ho puc creure. Aquesta jugada que han fet ha sigut boníssima, els Dragons.
The benefit of Hex Mambo now. They've got 3 Phoenixes down. Worry about 1 wave of fire minions, but
Ho tenen
they
cardat,
also have to worry about any wards. When is Final Case Teleport gonna be up? Or
Què fas si ets... Hòstia, van a all-in ara o què? Què van a fer? Què van a fer?
Oh, nearly lost the game. Can they
Espera,
turn it
joc aquí.
back around once again?
Pues poder sí.
The ultimate base race between teams. Rodwin and
Pues poder sí,
Deathwalker on the Titan. PBM cannot hold Johnny back.
S'enganxen a la Nemesis, bé?
Johnny, the Titan.
Se salva.
Quarter HP. Pagon
Perden,
and PBM
Huge!
don't have the damage just
Hòstia.
yet. Johnny is down. That's the primary
No.
demon sealer.
Crec que el Deathwalker ho fa.
And Rodwin have enough to take it out with the help
Deathwalker?
of the minions. Hex Mambo have ended the Jade Dragons
Ol.
winning streak in 2.
Han jugat de puta mare, eh? Això aquesta que ha fet aquí al final, el Sugumbo Jumbo, hòstia, aquestes jugades increïbles. Han jugat millor que els Dragons, eh? Uau. Bueno, anem a passar al següent joc. No em puc creure que hagin perdut, eh? Bueno, sí, m'ho crec. És previsible, eh? Anem a avançar. No és en directe, eh? Perquè estic a Europa i això sembla que es devia fer a les 2 de la matinada, això. I és en plan, tia. Mira, passo els bans, toma pel cul. Com queda? Mira, els hi banegen el tir. Estan fent la mateixa build, eh? No em puc creure que hagin perdut, eh? Bueno, sí, perdó. És que m'influ, eh? M'influ.
And then go back up one more time to take the Jade Dragons Titan at the end. So it's not something that just came easily to them. It took a long 40 minutes of gameplay to get to that point. They've got to just remember, yes, they've got the momentum, they've got the energy. Sirius doesn't have
És que en l'últim joc, l'Scream, no ha fet absolutament res.
for 3 minutes. But they've at least just got to remember.
Jo l'he vist, o sigui, heu vist
level 1s, level 2.
alguna jugada que hagi fet a l'Scream en algun moment ofensiu? No, ha sigut super passiu, eh? I normalment l'Scream fa jugades super ofensives, és en plan, però què està passant? Saps? I, joder, han jugat millor, els Jumbo, la veritat. Es mereixen haver guanyat, la veritat. I els Dragons quasi guanyen, per un pèl, bàsicament. No sé si per un microplay podrien haver guanyat, no sé. Passar-se al Titan, no estic segur.
I think Pagon, the picture of consistency for this team, even when he's falling, he's...
Perquè l'Scream em sembla que ha tirat l'ulti en vez de fer focus en el Titan. Potser hauria d'haver fet això.
Should be able to sit just fine. I think a lot of pressure also is on Scream, though. Wasn't able to get active in early on that Tsukuyomi. You know, still did good damage towards the late game. We saw whenever Zeros went in, the Aegis got popped, that Piercing Moonlight was getting charged, and Scream was going to the backline. Now on Nemesis, you're a little safer in that regard. You can go in, go out, you can ult the tanks, you can ult the carries, whatever you want to do. Just got to get started here early because, you know, X-Mambo are in their element in that late game. They've got a Mercury. They should be able to just one-shot these targets with the Uller combo as Panda Cat was doing last game. You know, it's all about where you're looking to get aggressive, where you're finding that pressure.
I per què han perdut el joc? Perquè han jugat millor els altres i perquè els Dragons han sigut super impacients. Sempre han sigut molt impacients. I tot ha començat per voler-se fer el fire jugant-se-la al 50%. És algo que sempre han fet, tio. I algo per lo que sempre han perdut. I és un fallo que té aquest equip que no han resolt mai, bàsicament. I és això, sempre han fet jugades d'aquestes que no són científiques, són especulatives. No sé si m'explico. No són jugades ben pensades, són en plan, em tiro o fem el fire. Que passi el que tingui que passar. És en plan, tio. Això és SPL. I, hòstia, estan jugant molt bé, eh? I l'Scream ha jugat fatal. No ha cardat res. És com si fossin 4 contra 5. Potser si haguessin tingut en Sam for Soccer haguessin sigut diferent. Qui sap?
Hasn't went back to base just yet. Just trying to get some pressure on the zeros on this Baba Yaga, as we would expect from a U1. Looks like PBM is actually mirroring Scream's pathing at the moment, heading over towards that speed buff, the back camps, that sort of thing. There's no blue buff invade. This is just sapping farm from Scream at the moment, putting the jungle just a little bit behind it, just absorbing a little bit of these back camps. Probably because PBM wants to get aggressive. He wants some items online too. He wants to make his stake on the battleground with this Shamir pick, and I think he's got the ability to do so.
Benevolence.
Espera, van anar en Deathwalker, però tirarà la ulti, no? La ulti ja es tira. Que buena. Ara sí.
To the Jade Dragons from Scream, and this is the style of play that Jade Dragons were more known for.
I crec que la Nemesis és millor que
won them 10 games straight.
Katsuki.
No, that Deathwalker dash
La Nemesis
has a bit of CC immunity, but not
top
enough
pick,
to really
bàsicament.
get away from Fatal Strike from Final K. That's first blood over the solo laner. And the
I per fer counter en Kepri, agafes en
besides that,
en Final K, a l'Aquiles, i fas Execution. Igual que fa a la Gohan, per lo mateix. No es pot reviure. A veure si fan una mica de snowball en aquesta partida. Mira, els enganxen.
They just missed the loop around. Unfortunate. Johnny just walked right past it. I'm going to mid. See you guys.
Fine, okay. Trying to go for that blue buff invade. It's not there for the time being, though. So nothing for him and Mike.
Creu que
Deathwalker. But now only the Dragon.
el Mercury està en el meta?
Fine, okay. Able to get that kill. Gives him a little bit of a
el Mercury sempre és boníssim.
As you mentioned, last game started out really well for him.
Sí, crítico és boníssim en Mercury.
Levels started coming around and Deathwalker got some of those items.
I la que solen fer és Rage i Deathbringer. I l'altre em sembla que és el Serrated i no sé què més.
I'm looking at Johnny's build, trying to build into that rage early on, trying to get those stacks, but before that item gets... I don't expect to see too many ults channeled unless, of course, some relics are down. Unless you're getting the big Scream. Gonna take a lot of poke from Echrome here, but I don't think any kill potential. No one else can try and make that rotation over. Purple buff has spawned in, and Scream is here. Panda Cat dropped the Suns onto the wave to make sure that he can get here as well, trying to get some pressure.
No li ha fet res, bàsicament.
Echrome will at least get some damage to PBM, but that's all.
I sabeu què sembla? Que en Panda Cat, quan està en grup, a vegades perd el seu potencial. Em sembla que el líder és en PBM, i a mi no m'agrada massa aquest home perquè sembla que tingui l'ego molt pujat sempre. I en aquest sentit, us seré sincers, crec que vam fer fora en Sam for Soccer perquè en Sam no li xupava la polla metafòricament, en PBM, bàsicament. I penso, hòstia, si algú altre fos el líder, que no crec que hagi de ser el líder del suport, no crec que tingui massa sentit. Ha de ser el líder el que en sàpiga més.
From Rotwin, but not looking to get too aggressive in the mid lane is the Hex Mambo, as they know their playstyle.
Haurien de fer democràcia,
They're going to get a little bit behind gold-wise,
perquè això és com el Xina,
but always will be looking towards that
que obeeixen i punto. Potser si fossin més democràtics, farien més bon place.
Taking away a ton of farm and actually hit level 10 before Fine OK. This Amaterasu.
Volen fer backhand?
Numbers, farm numbers, gold numbers. That is what's in favor of...
S'està pirant 3 contra 2. Increïble. Jo encara flipo el bé que han jugat els Jumbo, tio. Han jugat superbé.
That way they can alleviate some pressure, at least in the middle. Final K shows up to the blue buff. find
S'hauran de fer anticrític. Olo, se'l folla,
You want to take this boxing match, Johnny. You are definitely losing against a soul.
S'hauran de fer Ampidiam i
You have
l'Aquiles a l'anticrítico, fijo.
Deathwalker will dash himself away and out of danger because Scream once again hovering around by this totem of coup.
Yeah, definitely a smart call. If Scream stayed hidden for a couple more seconds, I was curious if Deathwalker was going to dash through that wave. But with the build currently, you only have to stack up the shield a little bit. You don't really need to dash through to guarantee your full clearing, so probably wouldn't have been.
Creu que guanyaran aquesta.
And still,
Ara estan...
pretty safe in that lane. Climbing up to about a 2
Estan
in
farmejant.
Jade
Ja està.
Dragons. Just
Què
under.
fot Ampidiam allà al mig?
You haven't seen too much pressure elsewhere. The
Fica't un guard.
certainly in favor of Johnny and Deathwalker in that matchup, the 2v2, but there's a trebuchet here, and I imagine they probably just want to kill this thing and save their tower. They're not looking to get too aggressive, looking for fights at the moment.
Rotwin walled off in order for him to go. And that trebuchet might get a ton of poke value.
Aquests dos es foten de pals al mig.
Deathwalker over there is able to keep it pushed back and mitigate some of the wounds. But the Jade Dragons are setting up for maybe a Pyromancer pull if Final K decides to rotate over, if Pagon...
Una build que no m'està agradant que s'està fent en què prim és els stacks i després l'altre ítem nou. I pot estar molt bé, però si et pilles les 15, polles, bàsicament. Perquè com més vida tens, més vida li treus. Amb les 15. Com més vida té l'enemic, que es fan el Pyro, molt bé. Molt bona jugada.
Now over to the Jade Dragons. We're sitting now at nearly 4,000 gold up.
Yeah, there was just no way Deathwalker could walk up towards that trebuchet with that amount of HP. You're in fatal strike range.
La pregunta és, l'Ecrome amb l'Uller estarà al nivell? Farà bons plays? Perquè si amb l'Uller ets un... no saps, doncs és merda.
Sitting in base, wanted that full executioner, wanted to get beads as well.
Executioner.
We're seeing
Deus anar per les 15.
some gold in favor of the Jade Dragons. I would not be surprised if we're going to look at this Gold Fury pull, because guess what?
El dia tira la torre al final, molt bona.
Over at this Gold Fury, one wall from PBM could spend just a little
Crec que amb en Limira els anirà millor que amb en Cabroken. Crec que amb Pibian, amb en Cabroken, no sap... Hòstia, es fan la Gold? Que bona. Bueno, espera que els hi roben, Igual que el Fire abans.
No contest. And this is just getting worse for Hex Mambo's. A one-kill game.
Això és el que haurien d'haver fet al principi del primer joc, tio.
Gold for Jade Dragons, then 4,000 once we add tower and objectives. And add the Gold Fury in there.
Enganxen algú?
Just getting harder and harder. The gap is getting wider and wider.
Deathwalker està farmejant, de tranquils.
Who's maintaining parity or some form of lead is Deathwalker and solo.
Penseu que en Deathwalker és un dels jugadors més antics de l'SMITE Pro League, em sembla? Em sembla que va jugar a SPL i després es va retirar i ara ha tornat. Algo així. O potser va passar de la SPL a la SMITE Minor League, a la SML. Algo així. Però si mires partides de fa un piló d'anys, de la Season, jo què sé, 5 o 4, deixen Deathwalker. Hi ha un vídeo al YouTube que és Deathwalker a Puig solo. I va ser una idea molt innovadora, però li van rebentar. Va ser com un meme, bàsicament. Sembla que va perdre. Ara m'agrada els Dragons perquè estan jugant als objectius i estan fent jugades proactives. El Scream està movent el cul. S'agraeix. No com abans que estava, no sé, estava mirant tot el rato.
One and stop the back was a little wide anyways and a little late to the party from being able to stop that one. So for Hex Mambo, Charlie, I'll pose it to you then. What is their
Pegon sap jugar molt bé amb
for Jade Dragons to pull a fight and make
amb en Juan, amb en Juan, amb en Joan.
Yeah, I definitely don't think that they need to force anything just yet. Fighting for the next Fury, I would want to see the Hex Mambo try and get a little bit aggressive there because
ara mateix el que han de buscar és fer plays, perquè no hi ha res més que fer. Esperar el pròxim Pyro que apareixi, pressionar torres, no sé. Suposo que buscar kills, bàsicament.
They still have some power spikes here. Like the XP is very neutral. It's just the builds. That's what you got to pay attention to. I mean, Deathwalker is
Clar,
still
el potencial dels Dragons
for the
és la seva agressivitat. Si no són agressius, són merda.
trying to get aggressive. Johnny, channel the
Bàsicament.
boom for a second, but you can't really find an avenue. This is triple
Enganxen algú?
territory here. This is where
El Jumbo Jumbo?
thrives fighting in the jungle.
Enganxen en la...
Gets axe tossed
Lolo.
and he dives in onto Ecrom.
L'Scream m'ha pillat,
Crow goes out by Panicap. It's on Ecrom. The sun's right down on Rotwin, stunned inside the
Right.
edge. And the dueling dragons will deal a
Si
lot
hagués tingut les 15, jo crec que l'hagués matat.
Rotwin, that should TKO this Kepler
bona.
from the fight. Zero Snow beats. Scream dive in. Pandacat right behind.
Quan juguen a apretar la W,
Blinking to the backline, but cannot close the distance.
fan molt bé, tio.
Time. Hex Mambo.
Però aquí en Fainoki no sé si
Only Zeros and Johnny on the way
està,
back.
està perdent molta farm,
Relics forced
En Deathwalker
well, but nothing really too
li puja 2 nivells,
while unless Zero's
Potser un nivell i mig o així.
the potion and the first ability. I don't think it's going to be enough. Even one potion's not enough to kill
Hòstia.
them. You need the auto attack and good wall. Not going to be able to chase any further. Johnny
Potser si no-
does have
sí,
Sonic
sí.
Boom, though. I don't imagine the lineup will show itself. It will! And he's not going to reach it, but
Que bona.
that's going to be a credit. One stack on the
Un play
ring.
més bo, tio.
Tries to go for the aggression, but Johnny gets the kill and gets out. Beautiful play by Johnny.
Sí, boníssima.
Found the line I probably never would have found. I'll give him that much credit.
Fainoki jo crec que no hauria d'haver
And the
rotat,
fadeaway cool
perquè
down
està
jump
perdent nivell.
look crits as he finds his first kill.
Per què serveix tenir molt de danyo si
Working towards Deathbringer
està
right
jugant
now.
cap al laking, pràcticament?
And that's a great
Ara surt el Pyro,
for Hex Mambo. It doesn't
Com no s'espavilin
do
els
much to the gold lead.
Dragons,
Short stuff about
I en Mercury és boníssim en fer objectiu ràpid, amb el
you
crítico.
can find to slow down the dragons is big for this team.
Yeah, no doubt. Again, I think this Oni Fury is where I want to see Hex
M'estranya que no se l'estiguin fent, els Jumbo Jumbo.
their shell a little bit. If Deathwalker
Mambo
makes that
Jumbo.
rotation in at that Oni Fury, I think he could certainly make some waves. A level 17 Amaterasu.
Fa fan els Dragons, perquè no sé per què, s'haurien d'haver fet ja els...
Close, but it's
els
not
altres.
quite the same impact. Panicat made the rotation over, so Pyromancer will be looked at. Deathwalker's close. They're not going to be able to try and steal that one away, and immediately Panda's channeling that back. Doesn't want to give Echrome any sort of pressure over in that duo lane. Doesn't want to allow any free farm. Trying to run back as quickly as possible. Once this Oni Fury spawns,
Ara s'ha fet les 15 i en Pandacat, boníssima.
because the Jade Dragons have been on point, making sure to grab the oracles, been on point.
Si us fixeu, si veieu en Pandacat
They are on top of them
fotent-li canya en Enkipri, ja veureu el ràpid que li baixa la vida.
consistently on that left side.
Com es faci més vida, en Enkipri
Now he'll farm up over
Serà
on the side. And it's
one shot pràctic. Bueno, one shot no, però
in rotation towards Oni Fury.
estarà perdent molt de potencial.
Outside PBM.
Rota amb Deathwalker a l'esquerra?
Deathwalker wants the fight.
Qui vol
Goes
enganxar?
in,
En el Limir? No.
Doesn't find the roots, and instead will find damage from
Mi-
Handicap. That's the call
Bueno.
now. The Jade Dragons.
Mitja vida li han tret.
Because Rotwin,
Esperava que li fes més dany, amb les skins.
Kepri eats a little too much.
Necessita més penetració, jo crec.
PBM and Pandacat now.
Ojo en Pandacat i aquests dos que estan molt mal posicionats. Estan com cagats, els Jumbo Jumbo. Allà l'últim Pegon.
Hex Mambo haven't eaten too much poke. It's only
I estan fent molt bé en
Two ultimates down, but now the Jade Dragons.
Mercury perquè està farmejant de tranquis.
No one's showing any sign of going in, and actually they will. Just be giving this one up. We've seen Johnny in the right
Podrien tirar la torre del mig i de la dreta, poder?
during that whole engagement. Johnny said, hey, Deathwalker, you're level 17. You go help. I need farm. I'm a late game character. I need that gold online. Unfortunately for
Que
Johnny,
mira, en l'Scream nivell 13 i l'altre nivell 16.
engagement with the Oni Fury and getting some presence throughout the map. 2 levels though in favor of the Mercury during that engagement, but you know you're 3 levels up on screen. That's your shining ray of hope there.
Estan farmejant a saco,
Time in right lane, you should be getting a little bit of a level lead. You should be getting a little bit of XP. Still though, the Jade Dragons as a unit, their gold is looking solid. Their builds are looking solid. I wouldn't be surprised.
I vull veure l'Ecromen com juga amb en Lulef.
From the Dragons because Pyromancer is going to be down for quite some time. Where else are they going to fight? Where else?
La pròxima jugada quin és?
Hex Mambo to step up to them.
El Fire ja, pràcticament.
Can just do what they did last
Si maten a 3, serà Fire, pràcticament.
down for 3-4 minutes, which was
I m'agrada molt en Pandacat amb en
wait for the Jade
Hoji.
Dragons to walk up and try
La build que
to
té
fight
està super OP.
like they are now.
La build d'atac speed jo crec que és la millor.
No shot.
Jade Dragons will force a fight
Deathwalker?
one way or the other. It's gonna be on a Deathwalker. Cannot get past that wall. Has to dazzling offensive.
Uix, per poc, eh?
Get himself out. Quarter HP. Teleport back up.
Hòstia, molt bona ulti.
Rotwin. And that's 3 ults now.
Però res.
Jade Dragons to try and find a pick onto anybody, but it's only been one returned by Hex Mambo.
This is real early.
Ara, si fos en Mercury, jo aniria, per exemple, a...
I think Hex Mambo recognized that.
No sé, tirar la torre del mig, poder?
Jade Dragons are going for it now. Not only is it going to take a while to go for that pull, they're going to take a lot of damage.
No, no es volen fer el fire.
Back, full HP, and Zeros is already
Que volen
trying
és pillar algú.
Rowan, I don't know if you can stand up this far.
Aeon's flight is down in the back line. PBM is also low. Rotwin does have the
Oh, ha fallat l'ulti en Fine OK.
because he gets it off right before the XU threshold comes in.
Hem estat dos ultis per una ulti.
Tier 1 tower in mid goes to Deathwalker and Johnny.
Estan jugant de puta mare, mira en Mercury. Ara hauria d'anar a l'esquerra i tirar la torre de l'esquerra.
Charlie feels like that just comes off the back of Jade Dragon.
Està fent backdoor, bàsicament. Està jugant superbé, en Deathwony.
Definitely going in favor of Mambo now. They got the tier 1
Parmesan.
mid. They send down Trebuchet and left. They get that. While Johnny has been consistently farming. Deathwalker groups up, gives him some movement speed, says, come on, man.
1018 contra
Let's go
15.
get some farm. Oh, you're 3 levels up on screen. We're going to continue that trend until late game. Scream!
Hola.
Chrome gets
Oh,
triple.
no.
Has to leap away, but he is gone.
Yeah, that's not where
Ha tirat l'ulti en plan...
Panda Cat
D'aquí no t'escapes.
pick.
Hòstia, ha sigut el rebote, el que l'ha matat.
He's gonna find those bounces.
Li ha tret mitja vida amb el rebote.
Step up, he does so.
Però el Prim ha de vigilar perquè no està super baix de nivell, eh?
Damage. Fire Giant pulled yet again.
Hòstia, en PBM nivell 12.
Hex Mambo. He was the one who stole the
Bueno, l'altre
Fire
també.
Giant last time. And the Jade
No,
Dragon
no hauríem d'estar lluitant aquí en el Fire.
walled off and nowhere to go.
Està molt baixos de vida.
Yet again.
Els enganxaran, ja veureu.
Pull this one. PBM has been holding on to that wall for the
Si els Jumbo es donen compte de que estan baixíssims de vida,
go to the back line.
se'ls folla.
Since there's no ult, no real reason to go in. As the Trebuchet is consistently
Trebuchet tira la torre.
wailing away
No crec que la
on
tiri.
that left side tower, and Johnny's consistently invading these camps, trying
Està
to
jugant
match
superbé en
level 20. That's been
Mercury.
the game plan since the start. And I think if E-Chrome doesn't walk up and get triple bounce there, Hex Mambo would say, yeah, this game's been going exactly how we wanted. This could be a tier 2 tower, but it looks like Handicat and
Mira.
PBM on the way to make sure that it gets defended. And that Trebuchet
I ara d'últim s'hauria de fer
Pyromancer has spawned back in.
Silver
This is time
Silver
for Mambo
Branch.
to actually get aggressive. Level 20 has been hit. Not before 20 minutes this time.
Vosaltres quin item us agafaríeu? Jo crec que el Silver Branch està bé.
Not too far up as well.
Ojo, estan jugant de puta mare. Han tirat les torres.
If the fighting has been going, the
Estan guanyant la pressió.
farm game and map play certainly in favor of Hex Mambo.
Els Jumbo els estan ignorant, bàsicament. Els estan dient, vale.
2000
No et deixem que facis el fight, però de mentre et tirem les torres
a non-stop climb up, and if you
i fem més,
that graph again for the gold by
fem més jugades.
It is even with
Et robem el far.
keep going back slightly, you know, a Gold Fury, a Pyromancer. It has just been this slow
Mercury.
incline up for Hex Mambo, and here's a little burst of an incline back up with that Pyromancer.
Els dragons,
Hex Mambo
si continuen
from
així.
the claws of being 4,000 gold down within, what was it, like 12 minutes, if even that at that point. Yeah, you see down.
Si heu vist anteriorment com jugaven els dragons, des de que l'Scrim va arribar, pel que tinc entès, s'han follat a tots. D'allà no s'ha escapat ni Déu, tots han pillat. Els hi han fotut un snowball a tothom, bàsicament. I sabeu que estic veient? Que l'Scrim no està massa... Hòstia, en aquesta partida última està super baix de nivell. Està a nivell 17 i l'altre al 20. What the fuck? I ara, entre tots, porten no sé, 5 minuts en el Fire, mentre estan en Mercury està de tranquis... Ara tirarà la torre del mig, ja veureu.
Relics are down except for E-Chromes, who are up in 3 seconds
En aquest sentit, els Dragons no tenen
to try and engage.
la pressió que es pensen que tenen. Jo si fos en
More so looking towards
Mercury aniria a tirar la torre del mig.
They're gonna back off because they realize, wait, where's that Merc at again?
Where did Johnny disappear to? The $1 million.
És molt fàcil parrar quan veus el mapa i veus on està tothom, Això és segur.
Figure out the answer too.
Però tinguent l'ulti podries arriscar.
Wards on the left side of the map, except for
Però clar, si et maten ja es fan el Fire, Això has d'anar amb compte.
at that point to see if maybe Johnny sneaks in
Hòstia, crec que ha robat
to try and get a gank over there.
el vermell i ha deixat un minion viu o no?
Mambo are
És una guarrada, si ho ha fet.
keeping Jade Dragons.
Es pot fer la gold en Mercury?
And then after that, taking towers or taking buff camps, just stripping farm off the map and clawing their way back in this game.
Yeah, it's an annoying team comp to face up against because the Jade Dragons want to draw a line in the sand and say, okay, you're split pushing, we'll just go for Fire Giant, but they really can't. Deathwalker has been so slippery. Rawin
Li han gastat el...
been able to stand at the front line, just getting
La...
some
Hòstia,
vision.
vale.
Ikram jumps out, Final gets
S'ha tirat.
That's going to be the dueling dragons, both routes down.
Ok, hauria de tirar l'ulti, eh? L'ulti d'en... En Hoji... Bueno.
And Ikram doesn't have much sustain to his name. At least not as far as the build is
En The
concerned.
Sony està jugant de puta mare. Està jugant millor que en l'Scrim. L'Scrim no sé què li passa en aquesta partida, en aquests...
Grab that buff, you're gonna need it.
És que pareu de fer el... És que esteu no teniu la pressió?
For the Fire Giant fight.
No sé què busquen, tio.
And he'll be able to dash past that wall. Deathwalker boxes off against Scream. And Fine OK, who will zone them out.
És que actives el Fire i el Fire et va traient vida.
Waiting for his opportunity to
I el Jumbo diuen, bueno, pues que tiren, que li tregui vida.
Tried to use the Phantom Shell to
Perden a la torre de l'esquerra.
zone wall, but unfortunately the abduct missed. And now it's time for the Jade Dragons to get aggressive. Zeros does get
Busquen
stunned down.
kills.
The follow-up is not going to be there. Scream does a double dash inward, but doesn't have the...
Tio, en Kepri l'enganxa?
Where's
O no?
Johnny rotating around back?
Aegis catches at least good, but
Boníssima.
goes down. Damage from Zeros finds one.
Però uno per uno et surt i guanyar els Dragons aquí. Ah, no, ha sigut...
Down. And Johnny
Ha sigut... Mira, Mercury.
Shot will find Panda Cat, but he's not going to find anything more. Execute. Not going to matter for
Okay.
OK, because Pagon executes death.
Pensava que hagués matat algú amb el crítico.
And turns into a 2-for-1
Dos per un.
trade for the Dragons.
Però no poden fer res.
Feel confident
Nemesis contra...
that everyone is backing up. I don't think that's the call. Scream does find the ult, but now
Sí, està mort, l'Scrim.
could be in some trouble if Johnny gets the pull here. Wait, Final K teleported in. They can turn this.
Johnny stunned.
Què fa l'Scrim, tio?
Still has
Per què no ataca?
body blocks are good by Fine OK.
L'haguessin matat,
Not enough. Now it's
L'Scrim ha donat un rodeig allà. És en plan, what the fuck?
this slow conveyor belt style of play is only benefiting the Jade Dragons at this point.
Mira, jo si
With
fos
fully healthy HP bars. Deathwalker can't teleport in.
Mercury, continuaré fent el que està fent, és pressionar les torres.
4v5 that I
Farm.
don't think Hex Mambo want to take.
The stuns are
Tiren el fight.
Fire Giant, quarter HP.
Espera que els hi roba en
Final
Kepri.
K stun. Rotwin, can he
Uf.
steal it? No, he cannot.
Ho ha
The
tornat a
Jade
fer,
Dragons get
Bàsicament s'han arriscat un altre cop.
find their escape.
Maten algú?
Johnny find his way to the backline, finds Final
Fai no queda tomar pel cul.
to the wings of Zeros and finds the pick. Johnny
TVM està... Hòstia.
finds the double stun.
Vale.
And Panda Cat and Pagon turn it back around. Jade Dragons find two more picks. And Hex Mambo on the
Bona ulti d'en Pegon, boníssima.
wall. And it's a triple kill for Panda, making a quadra kill.
Quadra kill, boníssima.
You're alive. The Jade Dragons can just run it up the right lane.
Això és game o no?
the Panda Cat that I was talking about at the beginning.
Això és el que haurien d'haver fet abans, tio. És que jo flipo.
Not about to get 2-0'd by the
I l'Scrim està supervist al vídeo, que el mata.
aggressive when he can.
En Deathwalker el mata,
And now it's
Ja
up to
veureu.
the Jade Dragons to run it down
Que té la ulti o no, en Deathwalker? Sí. Tira la ulti,
Trying to wrap around, but it is not going to be easy to stop the Jade Dragons. In fact, I think it's impossible.
Estan ignorant, Bueno, ara es donaran tots la volta i el rebenten, ja veureu.
Liners and against the full damage deal.
No sé si poden,
Dragons, they should be able to take this one out. Stun will only find
No,
one.
espérate,
Not going to be enough. The Titan still batting away. There are 4 towers up, and that might just be enough HP. Deathwalker will get
No,
but
va.
it's going to be too little and too late.
Boníssima.
A double kill to end the
Ara sí.
game for both Panda and Deathwalker.
Millor. Però ha sigut en Panda Cat que ha fet...
Trelly, once again.
En Panda Cat ha fet el carry, bàsicament. Mira el tio, aquest pavo està dient what the fuck? Hem jugat fatal. I l'Scrim està en plan, pues sí. Pues sí. I aquest tio m'encanta com es vesteix. Es disfressa... Va vestit a vegades com un avi i ara avui va vestit com una iaia. Però mola molt la seva manera de vestir-se. I està superguai perquè quan comencen els Nordcasters tenen un aspecte i es nota molt els de maquillatge i tal que els reinventen i els fan més atractius i més guais, diguéssim. Això està bé. Anem a veure el final. Això que han fet ara és el que haurien d'haver fet abans, tio. A veure, Wombo Jombo. No hi ha Nemesis. A l'Scrim... Merda, no està fent res. L... Mira, en Baron fa temps que no el veia. A veure com juguen. Desempat. Com perdin això és que me cago en tot, No haurien de perdre,
Set. As Mifflin said, we are at
En Dezoni ha jugat superbé.
I know that for us on the casters, we've been here since
I
10 a.m. in the morning, production.
crec que ho ha fet de puta mare en Dezoni. Hauria d'haver continuat pressionant a... Hòstia, que l'enganxo, S'ha pujat al 2? Em sembla que es puja al 2, no? Al principi. És que no jugo mai amb... Pensava que es pujava a l'1. En el nivell 1, d'això? Crec que no. Crec que ho... Sí. Callo. En PBM li encanta en barons a medi. Els encanta jugar així. I per builds... Uf. Per builds, en Cupido està OP. Bueno, està en el meta. Està molt ben valorat. Però, en canvi, tenen a la Llimoja, que la Llimoja és molt bona, si sap jugar-les, clar. Bueno, això és volum. El que ha fet... El carry és en Panda Cat, bàsicament.
Really just depends on, are you landing those wrap em ups? You have the follow up? Are you hitting heart bombs from Panda Cat? When you're playing at this level, when it's this time of the day, I imagine all of those abilities are landed.
I gotta imagine for Hex Mambo, they want to end this game.
A veure, Scream contra Dezoni. Al principi guanya l'Scream, no? El Mercury al principi no té pressió. Podria haver sigut més agressiu, l'Scream.
Oh, what are you talking about? It's like just barely past dinner time. Meanwhile, everybody else in here going, man, these are some long days ahead. Now, unfortunately for the rest of us, it's only 2 best of 5s tomorrow. Still potential.
A l'Hèrcules, sabeu quina putada té? Que si et fas anti-healing, a l'Hèrcules te'l rebentes. És el que té, bàsicament. L'Hèrcules, el seu potencial és, igual que en Chuck, que juga molt en Chuck a la SML, i quan els han jugat amb en Chuck a l'SML, s'han pillat anti-healing els de l'SPL i l'han rebentat, bàsicament. Llavors, què veurem? Veurem en Pegon fer-se anti-healing. I veurem l'Scream fent-se anti-healing. I potser en rata.
How do you top that for game number 3? It has to just be a pentakill at that point.
Yeah, whichever team wins needs to have a pentakill. I don't care who it is.
I aquella quadra-kill que s'ha fet en Pandacat, boníssima. Llàstima que no hagi sigut una penta, com estan dient els casters aquí.
Along those lines does occur, but at the moment it's more so just been the quiet farm. Scream.
Hòstia, l'Scream
no
el mata pas, crec.
Started this blink, had to use the beads. Johnny actually did take one more shot, so a little bit of damage coming his way, and the beads going down, but Scream expended Blink, and
van a robar el Blue.
What he did do was get some pressure onto Deathwalker's blue buff. Deathwalker's trying to fight.
Deathwalker gets the push. Johnny's healed up a little bit. The knockup is there. The stun is now down. Deathwalker needs
that. Al principi no sé per què està mort.
Instead, his jungler will leave him be. First blood.
El Mercury és merda. Fins que no et portes 10 minuts, el Mercury és merda. Per mi,
The double assassin is just going to have such a good time fighting. Of course, if Johnny was there, a little bit healthy,
el que ha de fer Mercury és passar a tothom, no farmejar.
Because Hercules loves to go for those brawling fights.
I m'ha encantat un play del Jumbo que han fet, que és evitar que es facin el fire i mentrestant pressionar al mig i a l'esquerra i robar farm. Això és un play de chat, de superchat. I boníssim, tio. I ho hauria d'haver continuat. Inclús hauria d'haver jugat amb el backdoor, perquè tinguent l'ulti de Mercury pots jugar amb el backdoor. I així els fas que es backegin i tal. Perquè si aconsegueixes fer backdoor, li tires el Phoenix a l'esquerra, és millor que el Fire, jo crec. Perquè l'objectiu del Fire, que em sembla, és tirar el Phoenix de l'esquerra i pressionar per les altres línies de mentres. Tires el Phoenix de l'esquerra i després te'n vas a la dreta i allà qui ho defensa, saps?
Against a team that's so seasoned in doing so.
Yeah, I would say so. They're confident in sitting back until late game and farming, but taking a coin toss is never the best way to ensure your victory. I've always said, playing off of your own like play style is always great, but playing off the enemy messing up, I don't think is ever the way you want to go. Rotwin is going to be pulled in here by the coffin, trying to get out with some has the heart bomb and should be able to get out of here.
Jo no he vist. Han tirat l'ulti, no? En PBM i en Panda. Els hi falta daño, tio. No tenen ni un ítem.
Actually, Ecrom doesn't even have his. Meanwhile, Panda Cat PBM using both of theirs. to try and get this.
Jo crec que perdran aquí els Mambo Jumbo, perquè amb l'Hèrcules crec que
I'm
perd.
like, oh man, what did Echrome use his ult on?
Si no es juga a l'SPL és per alguna
He just wasn't available to try and throw that one out there.
Crec que perdran per Will també. Per Will i per... Perdó, per...
Pagon to look at
X.
this red buff. Scream blinking in, getting the lead from Zeros, and going for the one more shot will do it with the Riptide. It's going to be enough to get Zeros out of there.
Estan fent molta pressió,
But he will be just fine. Instead, it should be a red buff.
Segueix el red
As long as
o no?
times it right.
Se'l fa o no?
Just Pagon for throwing out that ice bolt. I don't know if you want to walk back into this fight, Zeros.
Ulti està mort de Scream.
As backup, the dash available to
Hòstia, si la Imoja hagués tingut un 3 d'aquells...
We'll miss a couple
Pegon
of
què?
shots there against
No l'he vist jugar amb en Merlin fa molt de temps,
rotates in, but doesn't find the snake toss.
I s'està fent la Lonos Mask en BBM.
Do steal away the red buff, and they're able to all walk out.
Estan robant, estan fent Snowball, ja.
The Sonic Boom lands, maybe some more aggression after that, but Johnny
Això és el que haurien d'haver fet al principi, tio.
didn't want to risk going for it with Pagon right there with stance switch available, so decided against it, and PBM made the late rotation in. Life of the party still wasn't back up, but just...
I amb l'Hèrcules què t'has de fer? T'has de fer cooldown i moviment.
To back off and feel pretty
Breastplate
confident.
i s'hauria de fer...
Now it's time to look at what Scream's going.
Allò que quan et fan slow guanyes moviment, no sé com es diu. Witchblade o la Wingblade, em sembla que és.
With that ultimate,
S'hauria de fer
Still
això.
said, hey, I'll go in again. Like, I don't care. I'm trying to get aggressive on this Pele. I highlighted it in game number 1. Scream wants to be like 3-2 at this point in the game. Like, doesn't even matter if there's 2 deaths. Wants to be getting aggressive and fighting. Johnny wants rage. Like, that's all Johnny's looking for. Trying to get that crit online. It's going to take a bit, and purchase the Chalice of Healing. So that's going to put a dent in that rage as well. It's going to take even longer to get online, but that's the style Hex Mambo likes to play. Calm, cool, and collected, waiting for late game. Just keep your eyes on Pele. Wherever that Pele goes, that's where the aggression's coming.
El Càlid està OP. Per mi, jo sempre que he jugat, des de que el van treure, em vaig enamorar del Càlid. Me l'he pillat pràcticament sempre, amb tots els... jugant ADC, jugant Magos... A veure, aquí fan play, però... Espera, que trec el...
He's got a beats to get away from it. Deathwalker, and I should say Rodwin,
PBM?
even lower. Fine, okay. Finds the kill. Scream gets the knockup. But once again, rooted out. Major look is good. Deathwalker.
O sigui, en Deathwalker hagués tingut el push, l'haguessin matat en PBM. I hagués sigut 1-1. Estan fent Snowball, eh? La pregunta és... Ho faran prou? Faran prou Snowball? O què? Poden forçar-li els bits anant... Hòstia, a l'Ecrome. Que es fa un 2 contra 1, eh? Un 3 contra 1 es fa, eh? I ja no sé què està veient. Espera, torno a ficar.
For diving in against those 3. But as I was going to say earlier, we have at least...
PBM el maten.
We'll talk about it in a minute. No, never mind. Snake is good. Nothing more to be had, except
Ulti?
fields of love from Panda Cat.
Han gastat les bits.
Scream on rotation. Get away from him with the heart bomb, just in case the stun was there. Jade Dragons and Hex Mambo are good. Scream goes back. Yeah, I say that every single time. Echrome, these guys are scaring me. Mike is good on these snakes.
Oh yeah, Mike doesn't miss. That's what I was saying. When you're...
Sí, Bueno, sí. No li veig jugar amb en Baron des de fa molt de temps. Amb en PBM. I se li dona més bé que amb en Cowbroken, en la meva opinió. Està més alineat amb la seva manera de jugar que tenen, que és apretar l'W. I l'Scream l'estic veient molt fluixet. En l'anterior bé, en la primera merda. En la segona regular. En aquesta una mica millor. Però sense dubte, el MVP és en Panda Cat, bàsicament. I crec que podria ser encara millor del que és ara, eh? Si no tingués l'ego tan... Bueno, a vegades sembla que tingui l'ego... Potser li falta... Què li pot faltar en Panda Cat perquè sigui més bo? Potser tenir més iniciativa? És que en general és boníssim. Vale, el Pyro no ha sortit del minut 10. S'estan esperant a que surti el Pyro. robar-lo.
The point I'm trying to make
Go ahead.
is that game 3, so long as they can keep a better pace than game 2, we saw the climb back from Hex Mambo. We saw that even from a nearly 5k deficit,
El que em preocupa és que
take fight to the Jade Dragons. We're approaching 10 minutes. It's only 2k.
l'Hèrcules és merda.
This time last game, there was a tier 1 tower and a pyromancer
I en
back-to-back
en Mercury,
by Jade Dragons. Hex Mambo need to be aware with
fins que no té 3 ítems, és merda també. No sé que tiri una bona ulti o tal, o estigui molt ben posicionat.
Exact same thing, right? Just sit in lane and farm. But if Deathwalker is split pushing, if Deathwalker is trying to invade back camps, you gotta use your boulder or driving strike to make sure those go down, and that is gonna be your.
I l'Ecrome juga molt bé,
Except for your.
El nivell és boníssim.
So I don't imagine as free a farm going to
Està
Hex Mambo
mal posicionat.
like that. But of course, Johnny can always do the fast track to level 20, ignore fighting, try and find some farm. Rowan's gonna be frontlining here, and Zero's already taken a full chunk of damage from Pega.
Els hi han robat a
definitely been putting poke out there.
la tia aquesta, que no sé com es diu.
With any god that he's got his hands on. And seeing Zeros go away from the Baba and now on
La discòrdia.
Discordia. Give a
I
little
això fa que tingui més pressió, el que tingui més dany. Qui que és?
damage in the lobby for his team
Fine, okay.
at the least.
A l'Ecrome.
For Ecrom, he's the one getting it on his team. I specified his team.
I just looked at top damage and I got hyped when I saw Final K up
Oh, yeah.
there. I was just guessing who had top damage and I guessed it and I was like, that does not matter. That is just solo lane damage. You're not getting any
Però
discount.
el damage no ho és tot,
Ecrom getting it could be nice.
Pot ser top damage. He vist partides que ets top damage,
Up against Panic.
eren top damage i perdien. O sigui que
A little bit of extra
no té massa
minuscule,
importància.
little bit of damage boost maybe this early on.
Es fan el Pyro.
Pyromancer is getting channeled. Johnny has a Sonic Boom, but canceled it for a second. And that little hesitation means the Jade Dragons will grab the first neutral objective of the match. I mean, this game in particular, not the whole match, of course. They're going to grab that Pyromancer, get a little bit extra gold in pocket. They're looking solid. You said 4K by 12. Jade Dragons are approaching.
Now, where will Jade Dragons with Gold Fury up put that pressure? Do they go to the dual lane, try
A
and
veure quins plays fan.
set up for the objective? Do they wait around and sit for the next 4.5 minutes until the next Pyromancer comes up, or maybe force a fight at one of these buffs? That question is yet to be answered for now. As Hex Mambo, we know what they want to do. They've done it for 3
Estan fent més plays, però és suficient?
every game.
Ara hauríem de pressionar per fer la gold, Hauríem d'aconseguir una kill
Sit back,
i anar a fer la gold.
wait until 25 minutes when Johnny has hits level 20, when Echrome and Zeros have hit level 20.
Però no tenen prou dany, jo crec.
He's nearing his full build.
Ojo, en Pegon amb en...
So you're telling me they want to sit back,
Com es diu?
farm.
Right.
Amb en Merlin, amb l'estance de fuego, rebenta.
Yeah.
I m'ha recordat a un play...
That's the go button. Like I said, there's no Ymir blocking you this time.
Calla. M'ha recordat a un play que era, era molt divertit a SPL i era Base Race, que bàsicament és un equip va all-in al Titan i l'altre equip fa el mateix, és superdivertit. I van guanyar, em sembla que eren els Kings. Això fa, no sé, diversos anys. Està al YouTube, si ho busqueu. I van guanyar perquè en Merlin va utilitzar l'estància de fuego perquè té un DPS ridícul, bàsicament. I és boníssim. Hòstia, en Pandacat se'l folla, Se'l follen en... Oh... Pensava que era 1 contra 1, però l'han enganxat. Ara es fan la gold. O fan igual que en el Fire. Fan veure que van a la gold, però després lluiten. Tenen 3 ultis, Se'l fan? Se'l fan? I el roben. T'ho juro. L'ha robat en la Yemoja, em sembla. T'ho juro. Són lamentables, els Dragons, per fer això. Els hi ha robat. És que és igual que el primer joc. És igual que el primer joc. Això és algo que amb tots aquests anys no han solucionat. Amb tots aquests anys que porto mirant el SMITE, sempre ho han fet. Sempre ho han fet, tio. Hòstia, se'l soleja? No sé. Sí, jo crec que està mort. Sí. I sempre ho han fet, tio. I és un fallo que els treu de guanyar els mundials. No sé quan va ser, fa 2 anys, que van quedar segons o tercers, o alguna cosa així. I sempre són per merdes d'aquestes, que en vez de ser pacients, són impacients i se la juguen, tio. I la Yemoja els hi ha robat la gol, tio. I és en plan, ¿en serio? ¿En serio? I una Yemoja que no va a daño, que va a defensa. I et quedes, tio. Què fa? L'enganxa? La maten? No. Però han gastat alguna cosa? No, tampoc. Bueno, un play una mica raro, no? Ho silencio perquè em distrec. L'Ecrome està jugant superbé, superagressiu. I sembla que tingui més pressió que un Cupido, no?
At least the Serpent camps. Once we see these hunters start getting involved in here, that's where we
0-5, però
real big fight.
per pasta
We've seen some pop-up games.
estan més igualats del que sembla.
We've also seen a
Les morts no són importants, el que importa és el...
on a whole myriad of picks, but more specifically.
Fins als 20 minuts, 25 minuts, bueno, fins als 30 minuts, la pasta és el més important, bàsicament. Perquè amb la pasta et compres ítems i amb els ítems fas més dany o tens més defensa. O tal, i Pasqual, vale. Les kills no són importants, sinó... Si em dius de triar entre tenir 5.000 d'oro a favor, però 5 kills en contra o 10, doncs endavant, perquè l'important és l'oro, bàsicament. Les kills són importants només a l'hora de fer objectius, bàsicament.
Already posted up at the objective.
I ara, Panda que el maten, fan el Pyro. Mercury es tira a l'esquerra. No, l'està buscant, Mercury està estient. Com surti el mato, però no. Ara... I la gold ja està feta. A veure, en Merlin segur que ja té el Divine Ruin. Sí. I l'Scream ja té l'ítem d'anti-healing. Brawler Beatstick, em sembla que és. I algun altre anti-healing, com en... Bueno, quasi bé no els hi fa falta. Potser en PBM es fa un altre Divine. Amb l'agressiu que és, el cabron. Però amb aquests 2 ítems ja rebenten en Deathwalker ja està, ja no té bé. Ja ha perdut tot el seu potencial, bàsicament.
When they have that advantage, they've got a little bit more time to figure out how they want to go for this pull and Scream.
Encara que en l'últim... Enganxen en Zeros. Res. El PBM està mort. En sèrio? L'haurien d'haver matat aquí. O ha fallat en Deathwalker. Tira, jo flipo. Maten? Vale. I en Deathwalker? I en aquest també? Sí. Ara sí. Ara sí, Ara estan jugant millor. Però no haurien d'haver... El joc que han perdut? Una vergonya. El joc que han perdut ha sigut una vergonya, la veritat. L'Ecrome a tomar pel cul. I ara en Dezoni roba el Fire, ja veureu, és que ho veig claríssim. Hòstia, l'hagués robat, jo crec. Hòstia, per què no... Què estava intentant fer? Potser es pensava que no tindríem prou DPS o què? Hòstia, l'hagués robat, jo crec. Amb un 1, tirant a l'1. L'hagués robat. Hòstia, quina llàstima, però... I haguéssim fet el mateix fallo que fan sempre. Bàsicament. Té Blink, no? Té Blink. Mercury Blink està molt bé. Fan la Gold. Que no he pogut mirar l'estància de Fuego, que segur que la tenia.
Now it's time for them to group up and do the normal dance you see after an FG. There's one tier 1 tower and left, and all 3 tier 2 towers that just got pinged by the
En principi ja està guanyat per als Dragons.
This is very
Si
early.
van fent
This seems to
Snowball
a grab a tower.
i no la lien massa. Ara el que haurien de fer és
Tier 1 left.
tirar alguna torre.
Left, back up, spend some gold. I don't imagine
Bueno, sí, farmejar. Ara mateix
on even with a gold lead.
és el moment de farmejar una mica més.
See any Emp armors finished just yet for anyone on
Si pots tirar torres,
These
fes-ho.
Phoenixes will start to swing. Grab the towers, grab a little bit of extra gold, and look to get aggressive where you can. Johnny's still trying to find some farm on the top of the map, maybe even looking to proxy that wave.
Té l'ulti en PBM.
Frost out, but he's gonna have to
Enganxat.
well unless he wants to get pulled back in.
Only there.
Hòstia, mira en Pegon, que bona.
Pagon, no
Right,
from
okay.
five.
Olo, que bona.
And dunk him down.
Molt bona.
Goes out yet again.
Que mireu a l'Hèrcules. No té...
Find your another pick, find a tower.
No és bo l'Hèrcules.
All five.
Tiren el...
Only
S'han fet el Fire? Quan se l'han fet? Hòstia puta, que...
Chrome being down for 35 seconds. This could be
What?
a very easy Phoenix.
Hòstia, no m'he enterat o què?
Minions along their side.
No m'he enterat.
Back
En
from
sèrio?
Mambo, a 20-minute Phoenix.
Yeah, when you're
Espera.
going for a 5v5 underneath the
Espera. Això s'ha tallat, El vídeo s'ha tallat o alguna cosa. Un moment, Quan s'han fet el... 11:53? Si ja s'havien fet el Fire aquí? 11:52? 51? Ah, sí, abans, vale. Sí. Sí, jo no me'n recordava.
Mambo, a 20-minute Phoenix.
Vale.
Yeah, when you're going for a 5v5 underneath the
En
Phoenix.
principi han guanyat els Dragons.
A 5v3 when Deathwalker's still in.
Tiren el Phoenix del mig.
Pretty easy. Scream blinks to the back line, gets the Aegis for zeros.
Zeros needs 2 Aegises.
Ara sí, l'Scream està jugant millor.
Caught inside his own river, will not make it out. Heart bomb and final K are enough damage to take him down.
Fènix, tireu el Fènix.
And Johnny rooting around the backside of the
En Trifoni no pot fer res.
keep anything out, but he needs to go back to help out Deathwalker and the
No pot fer res, s'ho està mirant tot.
The Phoenix has been broken. The base is open. Trelly, we're on pace to the fastest game of the weekend. BBM will pull in Deathwalker. The Titan is at a quarter HP, and the Jade Dragons, you may stop their
Vale.
streak, but you will not stop their set.
En sèrio, Han guanyat, però... A mi aquest tio no m'agrada. A mi aquest tio no m'agrada gens. I va al gym i està gordíssim. Perdó, El físic no és important, però va al gym i està gordíssim. Si vas al gym et poses... Et posen les xocolates a la panxa i et fiques ben catxes, però... I ara m'agradaria veure... Ah, no parlen? Pensava que parlarien. Bueno, espero que us hagi agradat. Està guai. En Pegon... Bueno, han jugat molt bé en aquesta última. Aquesta és la identitat que tenen, és Snowball. Bueno, gent. Apa. Adeu.